Hi everybody, I'm coming to you today to do a very quick overview of the criminal justice system versus criminology. Now you have a quiz on this particular topic this week, so I wanted to make sure that there was full understanding and clarification between the two. Now, criminal justice and criminology are intertwined. They are part of the same course of study. However, the terms themselves differ greatly. So at Polk State College, we have a degree program in criminal justice. We do not have the degree program in criminology. However, you're currently in a criminology class. So what is the difference? So let's go over criminal justice first. So the criminal justice system is made up of three components and they work hand in hand and together. So the first component of the criminal justice system is law enforcement. The second component is corrections or jails, prisons, probation, diversion programs fit into this second system as well. And the third system of the criminal justice system is the courts. So these in themselves are separate systems. However, they work together, and without one of the components, the criminal justice system as a whole would crumble. So an example would be if I'm a law enforcement officer and I go out and make an arrest of someone for burglary, if there was no jail for me to take that person to, the system would fall apart. If I do take that person to jail, however, there's no court system, how would we determine if that person is guilty or innocent? As a law enforcement officer, I need only probable cause to make an arrest, which means it's more probable than not than that person committed the crime. I don't have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. However, that's what the court system is for. So as you can see, the three systems must be in place for the criminal justice system to work. On the contrary, what is criminology? So criminology is all theories, and it's the study of theories. Theories as to why people do what they do. I'm sure you've probably heard that person committed crime because he or she was raised in a family and everyone in that family commits crime. They don't know right from wrong. They weren't raised that way. That's one of the many theories as to why criminals commit crime. So in this course, we're going to be studying a lot of theories. And some of them apply to some criminals and some of them don't. Again, it's just a theory. So I wanted to give you a couple examples so that you would be prepared to take your quiz. Your quiz is worth 10 points. However, I want to make sure that you understand. So if I were to ask you something like, is this an example of criminal justice or criminology? And the question had to do with a detective conducting an interview. Would that be criminology or criminal justice? The answer would be criminal justice. There's no theory in conducting an interview. If I were to ask you something to the effect of the theory behind why Joe committed that crime is the social process theory, would that be criminal justice or criminology? In that case, we're discussing a theory, so it would be criminology. Please review this video as well as the written material in the quiz prior to taking your quiz. And should you have any questions, I'm always here to answer them. Have a great day.